In this video, I'm going to show you how I made the Hippy Dippy Daisies collection. Beautiful texture, pattern, lots of colors. And then these I made with the leftovers from these, and we'll talk about that in this video too. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? How are you doing? What's going on? Are you struggling with the winter blues, or has everything been smooth sailing? I hope that everything in your life is as beautiful as you are. But tell me in the comments what's been going on, what you been up to. I have a little mishap tonight. I started filming a very different video. I made a mistake. Look at this mess I have here. I laid two pieces of clay on top of each other, kind of soft clay, cut, and now they're stuck together. I've tried and cannot get them apart. I think what I'm going to do is keep this small section here and just mix that together into one color. Right now, I need some stuff to film for you guys. Plus, I also just need what I call inventory fillers. I need some things that are quick and easy, so therefore they're not as expensive. I can make more of them to fill out my inventory. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and chop it up. But these two colors are so close. I'm going to need a little bit of lighter stuff and darker stuff in here to make this pop. I'm going to do basically just a marble. But see, if I just marble those two colors up together, it's not going to be very dynamic. So I'm going to throw in some other colors, definitely some white, and I'm not sure what else. Okay, I pulled out some colors. Got some dirty, kind of scrap white, a little bit of mint green, some sunshine, some purple, and some fuchsia. Hope this comes out cute. I've been sick, so if I get out of breath, or that's, you know, or if I'm sniffling, that's gonna be why. And being sick and not, I mean, I really have not been in here at my table and worked for a month. I've just had a lot of stuff to deal with, and I haven't been in here working. And so I was so excited to get back to my workspace and back to my clay and back to videos, and then I come in here and the first thing that I do is make that mistake. I knew better, and I did it anyway. It was like first thing I do after not being in here for a month and screw it up. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna pivot. pivot. Surely y'all know where that's from. I probably didn't say it right, but anyway, gonna pivot, although I'm not moving the sofa. I'm gonna try to come up with something else, you know? I mean, I can sit down and cry about it, or move on, and normally I wouldn't get that upset about it, but I think it's just from being sick and not feeling good already, and then you screw it because it's a really good idea. I'm still going to do it, but in the meantime, I'll just make something else. I don't know how much of the purple and fuchsia that I want in there. I'm going to put those to the side and add those in slowly. Still don't like these big chunks of the original color. I'll cut those up a little bit more. Alright, that's got going so far. Let's sprinkle a little purple in here. There's no way I could have filmed a day or so ago. I know I'm still getting out of breath, but I was talking to my friend on the phone and she said, "Oh my gosh, you're breathing so heavy. You sound like you're dying over there." Like, I am. Yeah, she made me laugh. Which made it even harder to breathe, but you know. Laughing is always good for you. So I'm gonna just kind of start pressing this together. I press some of that air out as I go. I may get me a block to help me out. Yeah, I think I will. Give me a little bit more leverage. I may have to stand up. I will fast forward so you don't have to listen to me grunt and groan and be out of breath. But basically, I'm just going to compress this and get the air out as I go. Okay, I've got this compressed now. I'm satisfied that I have basically all the air out of it, maybe. At least most of it. Could go a couple of ways from here. I could twist it, cut it open. But let's do a couple of different ways. I mean, actually just cutting it open like that. I mean, that's pretty dang cute. I may just do that. It's kind of like a terrazzo pattern. Is that terrazzo? Terrazzo. Just gonna see if it was like that all the way through. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with that. I'm going to try to keep it fairly thin because I will have to run this through the pasta machine to make sure it's at a consistent thickness, you know. And I had intended on doing a marble, but then once I cut it open, decided I like this pretty good. So now I'm just gonna put them together in a veneer. I'm gonna try to just pick up random pieces from different places. Whatever I pick up is what gets put on here. I got it all stuck together. I know, especially as a whole, it is very busy pattern and it's not looking so great, but I think once I do what I'm going to do to it and get it cut out, I think it'll be okay. If it's not, worst comes to worst, I can blend this up and just make a new color out of it. Start smoothing it out a little bit. Try to get this meshed together as well as I can, even out as much as I can before putting it through the machine. Okay, I've got this fairly smoothed out, probably about as good as it's going to get right now. What I'm going to do is cut this up into smaller pieces before I start running it through the pasta machine. I'm going to start on the thickest setting and go down to where I want it, say number 4 or 5, as thin as I can get it without messing up the pattern too much. But when I do that, if I do it with this one piece, then every time it's going to have to be put through in the same direction because it's so big. putting it through in the same direction each time, it's going to stretch it in the same direction each time. The pattern is going to get stretched more and more in this linear direction, which is not what I want. I'm going to cut this probably in fourths, maybe. I think, no, it still didn't actually all get the rollers. Yes, thinner than I thought. What I'm going to have to do is mix up this color and use it for backing on that so that I can get it all one level. I know I said I wanted my finished veneer to be on a 5, but I think I'm going to go with a 4. I'm going to texture this, and so it's going to thin it out a little bit. My colored pieces here are on a 5 already, so I rolled this. This is a 6. And then I'm going to lay this on top gently because I want the bubbles to be able to come out when I run it through the machine. I'm going to cut off the excess, and then I will run these through together on a number 4. So 5, 6 together on a 4. Alright, so there it is after it's been run through. It's all nice and smooth and even. And it's better that I put the backing on there because then I could run it through again. It's a lot smoother now than it was. Some of the places were just too thin for the number 5, and I certainly didn't want to make it any thinner. So adding the backing is a good way to do that if you realize you've gotten it too thin. Got all of my pieces with their backing on them, so everything's all nice and smooth. My next step for this is to use a texture roller. I was looking at like 3 or 4 different ones, and you know what? I just happen to have 4 different pieces here. So, you know what that means. We're going to do a different texture on each one. I'm going to make sure that this clay is attached very well to my shiny tile. I mean, I want that sucker plastered on there so that it doesn't lift up and get stuck in texture roller. Let me show you what I have found. And I have used it once and it worked beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. This is a set of handles. They're from Poly Clay Play. They screw together. And you see that right there, it's all of this right here is solid. It's not hollow. It is, that thing is solid. So it's nice and strong and thick, sturdy. And then it screws together. So texture roller. Bada bing, bada boom. And then it's like a rolling pin. Genius! I love it. I love it. It works so well. Makes it so much easier. I'm going to tell you, not all of Trisha's rollers work with this. See, this one is like way too big. This one is solid, so I can't use it with this one either. I'm having trouble deciding. I really like all 4 of these. You know, this wavy pattern I think would be really nice with this pattern. I don't know. And look at the ones that have the color ombre. Not all of them have that, but is that not so cool? They just look so pretty. This one is a very fine line texture, which is why I think it might look good with this pattern. I'm just not sure which pattern is going to work best on this busy clay. Here's another one that I thought might be nice. for this. This one might work too, since it has a lot of open space. I'm just not sure. I wish I could tell me which ones you wanted me to try. So now it's down to the decision time. I think I'm going to use these. I think. Alright, that's what. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. For release, I am going to use Armor All. That is my preferred release, usually. You can use cornstarch if that's what you prefer. I prefer the Armor All. I mean, I just do. It just seems to work better for me, but you know, that's just me. You gotta figure out what works best for you. So you gotta try them all, right? One thing though, you want to put your release on your clay and not your tool. Because like putting it on your tool, you're never gonna get it down in all of the crevices and everything. I mean, you might, but it's going to be a lot more work than if you just put it on your clay, because your clay is smooth, so it's easy to just spread it out and get it all over, you know. I didn't think to check and make sure that these were not wider than the rollers, and they are, but that's okay. It's alright. I'll make it work. Okay. Could I possibly say okay anymore? Need an okay counter at the bottom of the screen. We'll play the take a shot game. Every time Mel says okay, you have to take a shot. Y'all will be drunk by the end of the video for sure. Okay. See, I said it again. I'm going to stand up so I can get plenty of pressure. I don't want to attach my roller right on the edge. I want to go up just a little bit further from that, where I start putting my pressure. I feel like if you start right on the very edge, it has more of a chance of getting stuck. Alright, here we go. Cross your fingers. Use my rollers. Get some good pressure going. Oh wow, that is going so easy. It's so smooth. Oh my gosh. That is so much easier than doing it by hand, and quicker too. A lot quicker than doing it by hand. And look, I got such a nice texture. I am tickled to death with these handles. I'm telling you what, that opens up a whole new world for me. Let's try this one next. Armor All. Where's the armor? There's Armor All. I would rather use too much than not enough. I mean, I don't want to drown it, but I'd rather use too much than not enough, because I can always wipe it off when I'm finished. Alright, here we go. This one may be a little bit harder because it is such a fine texture. So let's see if it works as well. And I'm able to get a lot of pressure on here too. Now this one, because it is that fine line texture, it's not as deep. That may be me, or that may just be the way that roller is designed. But I mean, still, they don't all have to be super deep, you know. I mean, it gives a beautiful texture. And then I go ahead and put those back together so that I know that the threads and everything are protected, and then I store it as one piece like that. Now here's one that's going to be kind of hard for me, so we'll see. This one I'm definitely going to have to get up over, because I've got to put my own pressure on there. Okay, cross your fingers, let's go. I'm trying to get a lot of pressure, trying to keep it even. So that maybe it won't have those, you know, dips in it where you have to stop and start. Oh, this is my favorite texture for this too. That's really nice with this pattern. Oh yeah, I love this one. And you know, let's see, I actually didn't do bad at all with it. Now I got a little shallow here at the end. I didn't have quite enough pressure, but I was afraid, I think, when I went off that it would stick. But that is really pretty. I really wish I had just done them all with this texture. Really, it's so pretty. The one with this texture and this texture, I folded them over and ran them through the pasta machine again on the same setting I used before. And you can see it did change the pattern on the clay from the original. This is the original. This is after it's run through again, but it's still pretty. It works. Of course, this one I kept because that turned out the best in my opinion. And I kept the one with this pattern. Although, I'm not so sure I'm not going to run that one through too. This swirl pattern, for some reason, is just doing it for me with this clay. I think I will go ahead and change it. And then that way they'll all have the same texture. I've got all of my clay textured and ready to go. So, what am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to make some little flower spinner hoops, I guess is what you would call them. I don't know. I love making these little hoops. They're good sellers for me. They're really cute. Just cut out your donut flower, hang them on a hoop. I didn't have donut cutters. Now what I did, she gets the noisiest one she can find. Okay, me and the baby played with her noisy chicken for a few minutes. Finally got her moved on to something else that's quieter, but I don't know. She's still looking for the chicken. But maybe it'll be alright. Anyway, all that's irrelevant. So I want to make the daisy spinners like this. But I also will probably make some just regular dangle earrings. And let me show you what I'm going to make them out of. I have these beautiful cutters from Poly Clay Play, Daisy Donut Cutters. These are the 5 petal, and they come in 5 sizes. 5 petals, 5 sizes. And then the 6 petal, guess how many sizes it comes in? It comes in 6. I don't know why it worked out that way, but it did, which I thought was kind of cute. But anyway, there's the 6 petal. I'm kind of drawn to the 6 petal for some reason, but we'll see. I'll probably use both. As you saw, I have made them before, but I didn't have donut cutters, so I just used a flower cutter, and then I got a very small circle cutter and cut out the center. And that works, but it's just more, it's more work, and it can be done. And I just never really thought, well, it's okay, I can just do it. And yeah, I can just do it, but it takes more time. It's a little bit harder to do. It's an extra step to have to go through, and then you gotta try to eyeball it, make sure you get it in the center. Whereas if you got something like this, it's one and done. You just and it's done. And you know the center is always going to be in the same spot on each one. So you definitely want to use this bigger one and make like just a regular pair of earrings. So I think that's where I'm going to start. I want to try to cut like a pair of earrings out of the same sheet so that I know they go together. So whichever sheet that I see that I can cut 2 of these large flowers from is what I'm going to do. These cutters are very sturdy. Like, they have these thick, wide and thick, what do you call it? The edges, the top edge. So it gives you plenty of room to, gives you plenty of something to push on, you know? They're just nice cutters, I think. Now, as I said, she did send me these, but here's the thing. With me, Yes, these were sent to me as a gift or PR or whatever you want to call it. But the thing is, if somebody sends me something that I don't like, I'm not going to get on a video and just bash it. You just won't ever see me use it. I'm not going to come on here and say, oh, don't buy this because it's garbage or whatever of anything. I just wouldn't use it. So if I'm using something and I'm telling you about it, it's not just because it was sent to me. It's because I like it. I'm not going to recommend something to you that I don't believe in and that I don't think is a good product. I'm just going to fit these around and get what I can get out of them. I went through and cut out the studs out of everything else around. Studs are another good seller for me. Anytime I make any kind of slab, whatever's left, I cut out as many pairs of studs as I can. So sometimes people come into my booth and they like my work, but they may not be prepared to spend $60 to $170 for a pair of big statement art piece earrings, you know, but they will spend 10 bucks on a pair of studs. I'm glad I went ahead and put this clay on a number 4, because once I did that texture, you know, it wound up being pretty thin. I gotta say, I'm really pleased with that. They're very nice cuts. And I absolutely love this wavy texture with these colors. These are gonna be some really groovy earrings. All of my little beauties are out of the oven, so I'm gonna release them from the towel and we'll see what kind of cuts those cutters gave us. I really like these pieces. I was so upset when I had messed up those colors from my original idea of what I wanted to do. I don't know, but I think I made some pretty decent lemonade here out of those lemons. What do you think? But now let's get down to business here. Let's see what these cuts look like. Pretty nice. I mean, you know, of course there's a little bit of cleanup there, but you're always going to have that pretty much with any cutter, really, but especially with your 3D printed cutters. But that's minimal. I mean, it really is. Clean there on the center too. Like I said, a little bit of cleanup, but that's normal. And what I'll do with that is I'll just take my fingernail or my craft blade and it will just scrape right off. No big deal. Pops right out. Very nice. Really clean cut. Yeah. I give them a pass for sure. A+, A+. Very nice, good, sturdy cutters. Cut sharp, clean, for sure. But my favorite thing is the roller handles. They're awesome. I might actually start liking to use texture rollers now. I think these are super cute. So, sorry. She always picks the noisiest toy when I start recording. I don't even know how long she's been playing with it. I'm used to it and I wasn't really paying it any attention. Hopefully she hadn't been doing it the whole time. My Hippy Dippy Daisies collection is all finished up. I have several more than what I have here, but this is just a few that I wanted to show you. This was so easy, so much fun. I did decide to use some paint to highlight the texture, and I'm not sealing this, but if you want to find out why and see the experiments that I did to see how well this was going to hold up, I have a video of that coming up soon. So if you're interested in that, be sure and watch that. I'll just show you a few of them here. This one has the same topper. These have the purple topper. They're all finished with my little signature pink flower on the back. I use that when I don't have room for my initial stamp. I use those cute little pink flowers. I love these little 3-part dangles. I have some personally that I made like this, and they're in a rainbow, a neon rainbow ombre. I love those. Those are some of my favorite earrings, and I wear them often. These are like just an easy design to wear. And then I did the little spinner hoops like I talked about. These are so cute. They just, you know, move around. But then I did some that I drilled a hole for the hoop. Those still move nicely, but of course they don't completely spin around. Oh, and this pair I really like. I made the post in the earring so it doesn't have the topper. So it'll just sit in the ear like that, which I think is really cute. It's something different, you know, than making them like this, as most of them are made like this and most people make them like this. This is just something a little different. Rapunzel is the name of this texture roller, and you can find that along with all the other tools that I used. Circle cutters here that I used for the toppers, and the donut daisy cutters, which I absolutely love. Come in the 5-petal and the 6-petal. I have an affiliate link that is in the description box. I would be so grateful if you would use that, if you would like to check out their website. Anything that you purchase after going through my affiliate link, it doesn't change the price for you, but it helps me earn points to where I can buy more clay, more tools, things like that, so I can keep making videos. Financial donations are always appreciated, which I will leave the link to my PayPal in my description box, and it'll be in a pinned comment. I really appreciate all of you that have donated to my PayPal. It makes a big difference, and I sincerely appreciate that. But you know, if you're not able to make a financial donation, using the affiliate links is a great way to support your favorite YouTube content creators. Look at these cute little babies. They're so cute. These are the ones that I made with my leftovers after making these. Did not show these in the video because I already have a video where I did something very similar to this, and I will link it right here. That was on my 4th of July video. I did the same thing here. The only difference is that on that video I used solid colors, and on this one I used my scrap clay. I cut out my little flowers and just added them to a white background. In the 4th of July video, I stretched and pulled and kind of distorted the flowers and distorted the whole sheet. I did not do that with this. I just left it plain, just a straight sheet. I didn't change that. If you would like to see what the sheet looked like before I cut it, I have pictures of that on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, hello, you should be. So you can check that out. I did have pictures of this full slab before I cut it up. All of these designs are super simple, very easy to do, great beginner project. Don't forget to check out Poly Clay Play to get all of your tools for these projects. And you can also get your personalized blade holder. Love this. It's so cute. Get these in lots of different colors, and it's perfect. No more picking up your blade by the wrong end, and you always know where it's at. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Okay, thanks. Bye.